so it's like, no matter what time of year, you're in a nice controlled environment.
It's about 70 degrees inside all the time.
Yep.
So it's fairly comfortable.
So you have this laminar airflow, so you know it's a comfortable area.
Now with the pods, I mean, you're not really exposed to chemicals either. It's pretty great. It's pretty safe in terms. I mean, back in the old days, it wasn't so safe, but now it's probably safer than almost any other environment.
I would say it's probably the safest industry that's out there. I mean, there's danger in any of it, but there are a lot of nasty chemicals we work with, but a lot of it's behind interlocks, behind various valves. There's all sorts of controls in place.
Yeah, we have a lot of engineering control, a lot of procedures. The biggest thing is behaviors, right? Having good behaviors, being safe, think before you act, right? But yeah, we deal with a lot of chemicals. Not in our particular area, but there's a lot of different acids we work with, a lot of different gases that we work with that has a lot of interlocks. So every once in a while we'll have like a local evac or evacuation because something was sensed, right? Parts per billion, something's out of spec, right? And we go above and beyond what OSHA requires as far as safety to make sure that we keep our employees safe. So safety is our number one goal. You can't make safety your number one goal. Everything else is going to fall apart under that. Safety, quality, product output, right? When it comes to training and everything else, but safety is our number one priority. Yeah. So my background: I went to Penn College. I graduated in 2000. The semiconductor program here, where my last semester was down at Penn State University. How I got into working at Intel, same thing I'm doing now, right? Intel came over, they saw the programs here, they saw what they liked what was going on, so we had a recruiter, I can't remember his name, but he brought a couple more recruiters out after he observed that the programs here. So a handful of us got hired through Intel. I have a couple friends. One's in Arizona still. He works out in Arizona Intel. A couple guys went to Micron, Denver, Virginia. One guy went to where'd the other guy go? Northrop Grumman. That's in Virginia as well. So I still keep in touch with them. They're all doing very well for themselves. Being in the semiconductor business is it's a very good business to be in or have a job in because it's very competitive. The pay is great. The benefits are great. And there's always jobs in here, right? I think the downfall is there's not a semiconductor facility in every state, right? You have to move with the business. And where we're at in Albany, that's where we're at. I took a job in Massachusetts, so I'm originally from Easton, Pennsylvania. I moved to Massachusetts. I lived there for about 13 years, and I just moved to Albany recently, just about back in 2014. Started as a technician. I was a tech for 8 years. I worked with a lot of chemicals. So I worked on acid benches. I worked in dry etchers, or ashers actually. Worked in ashers, so with vacuum chambers. A lot of the skill sets I learned in college, I could apply to my job as a technician, but I use them every day. I think the biggest thing is, Jeff and I were just talking just a little bit ago, is how do you become successful within any company is a great attitude. Right? Make sure that you're on time, right? Definitely on time, right? You don't call out sick for whatever, on Saturday nights. We do work compressed work week, so you're talking to our shifts that work Saturday nights. But basically, have a good attitude. That winning attitude. You're there to win. You're there to be successful. You're there to be a team player. You have goals, right? Personal goals, right? You don't have to be a technician for the rest of your life, right? You can be a manager, you can be an engineer, you can go and complete something different. That's what's great about this industry as well. We have different departments everywhere. I had a lot of good success. I mean, just with being a technician, I got sent to Ireland, I got sent to Arizona, I got sent to New Mexico. This was my previous job, but it's just the opportunities were there. Pat, we need you to go here, we need you to learn this, we need you to bring this back to our site. And with Global Foundries, we have that ability as well. So there may be some travel, not our specifically our department, but there are guys that go to Japan for training, right? So you get to see some of the world. Germany, my girlfriend, she works at AMD, Global Foundries, and she went out to Dresden for about, I think 6 weeks she was out there. So she was out there, we're working on a specific product and we need someone to manage that product. So she's a technician. She didn't even go to school for she got a job, started as a temp worker, and worked her way into a full-time position, right? So she was at Intel for 8 years, and Global Foundries. They sent her out there for 6 weeks to focus on a specific lot that was going through the line, to make sure it got it, people had focused on it. The biggest thing is, you have 2 sites, one site speaks German, the other one doesn't, right? And so there's a lot of miscommunication that happens, so you have to have someone there to make sure that product's being managed right. But there are a ton of opportunities. Let's see here.
You started like probably a 12-hour shift, right?
Yeah, so-
Are you on 12 now, or?
Yep, so I work Monday through Friday. There are 12-hour shifts, so how it works is,
Technicians work compressed work week, is what they call it.
yeah, so you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So you'll have a shift. Our shift works 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. The rest of the factory works 6 to 6. So A shift, this is day shift. They work every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every other Wednesday. Cool thing is, you get off every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Every other Wednesday. It's a great shift to work on. Jason's shift, he works night shift. The good cool thing about night shift is you get paid more because it's a differential, which is nice. So you work every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday night, and then you work every other Saturday night. So that's probably the biggest challenge, right? Is working every other Saturday night. Jason likes working Saturdays, so.
I love it.
So. But then you have C shift, which is days, and then you have D shift, which is nights, and they work the opposite end of the week. So we're 24/7 manufacturing, 168 hours a week, and we do not stop production, right? We're open 24/7. You know, after the holidays, everything else. We do offer great benefits as far as vacation. Is it 3 weeks for technicians to get off the start?
Yeah, you get 3 weeks to start. I think everybody gets 3 weeks to start, at least that was the policy 5 years ago.
We get some personal choice days, so you get some extra vacation days to take off whenever you
32
need.
hours of personal choice,
Yep.
and 80 hours of sick time.
And 80 hours sick time, so you have benefit sick time, right? So you get 80 hours a year, take sick time. Yeah, so there's a lot of good benefits. I really enjoyed this shift because it gave me some flexibility. When I worked, well, actually I worked every shift. Through my career, I worked every shift. I even worked third shift at one point. But working compressed work weeks is great because if you're going back to school, which we pay for school, right? So you get $5,200 a year to go back to school, right? So you don't get it up front. Here's $5,200. You know, you pay classes, right? Now, so you pay for it first, and then we reimburse you. And I believe it's a C+ or better that you get 100% reimbursement. I don't have the facts on that, but it's a program. Colleges around us, we have plenty of schools that you go to. It also, you know, and the good news is that there's online classes now, right? So it was a Penn State World. That's a new thing, right? So if you wanted to go to Penn State World, and take online classes, you could do that with reimbursement. So. What else?
I know you guys got questions. And Joe,
What time exactly did you say from when to when does the night shift work?
So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. days, and then 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. for nights.
There's breaks in there, obviously.
Yeah.
You just stand on your feet the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. And Jason, we could talk more about the break schedule.
It's, you know, New York State, it's a 15-minute break for every 4 hours worked. So it's, well, I don't know if it's, may not be for 4 hours, because a 12-hour shift, they only allow 2 15-minute breaks and a half-hour unpaid lunch. Because maybe 4.5 hours. And then, but, you know, there's some flexibility there, but that's the rule.
So the thing is, like, you know, your first and last hour shift is like you're getting ready.
Yeah,
At the beginning of the day to prepare for your shift, and the last hour is you prepare for the oncoming shift, right? So there's a lot of downtime there because you're just making sure your documentation's good, right? Passing down the next shift. Communication is very important, right? So anything that comes to learning about communication, documentation, everything else, don't take it with a grain of salt because it's very important that we communicate. It's one of the things that we, as managers coming in with new employees, is there's a lot of coaching and a lot of training on how to communicate, right, and how to solve problems, and how to use the tools we have to solve problems as well for communication. So but like what Jason was saying is that there are a lot of times or given times for for your breaks, but there's a lot of flexibility in there as well. So if you work in a team-based environment, that's another thing, is working with others. You may have five, 6 people on your team. You know, in our department's about 6, but it could be 15 to 20 in a different department, right? So you have to, and then you work together like, okay, well, who's taking break now, right? Who's taking lunch now, right? We have a very good cafeteria, which is very, very, it's a big benefit. They make a lot of good food, so it's you know, I think it's one of the cool things of being in this site because everything's brand new, right? And coffee is relatively cheap as well. So if you're a coffee drinker, it's $1 per coffee.
There's
right
free
here.
coffee too.
There's free coffee. That's right. We have free coffee on all the office floors. So if you want the good coffee, it's $1, right? Just bring your own cup. Otherwise, it's $2. You charge $1 per cup. Any other questions? Looks like you have a question. No?
I have a question. So this plant is completely automated,
Yes.
and you pointed out all those vendors who sell you the equipment, but you don't design your equipment.
Correct.
And you can design your own ship. I mean, you don't make your designs, do you? You simply manufacture someone's design.
Right. Exactly.
So you have all this automation, you see all these folks that are working on these lines. And some of them are monitoring the process.
Yeah.
And I assume you kind of picked that up, how to do all this.
As far as
This has all the stuff you do. I mean, did going to the semiconductor classes at Penn State prepare you well for this, or other folks?
so that's a good question. So the semiconductor class, it did prepare well. It's definitely one step ahead of everybody else, right? When you get into the program or into any business, they will teach you what you saw in the video. They'll have classes with that internally, right? What I learned at State College though is that hands-on building transistors, right, and working with chemicals and everything else. So it's definitely a step ahead. If I wanted to go and be a process engineer, right, that was like one of the biggest things. Is I learned a lot of process down at State College. We didn't necessarily work on the tools there, but coming into Intel, we had a new employee orientation, right, and a lot of people have never been in the semiconductor industry, never been in a clean room. When we say the word tool, right, I'm not talking about hand tools, we're talking about equipment. So I knew all the verbiage, knew all the knowledge as far as how a wafer is built or a computer chip is built. So I had a step ahead. But people were hiring now. I mean, there's any background, so a straight electrical background, electronics background. It doesn't necessarily have to have a semiconductor background.
So other part of that question now is all this automation, and we know automation is highly reliable. Do you have separate teams that work on this, or the team and who addresses this issue?
So we have at our department. So we have so we're the automation department, right? And we also have another automation department. So we work. So we're responsible for all the robotic handling and deliveries. And we're responsible for the software that drives the robots, the programs, the map, right? So we have a big map in the factory, right? It's a big process map, right? So we're responsible for everything from when that robot starts process or starts to move from point A to point B. We're responsible for that. So if our system goes down, then we have engineers who are on call 24/7 to get on the line and try to start troubleshooting to see what's going on. We deal with the equipment side, right? So yep. So we work on the robotic side, right? The maintenance side, and also we're responsible for deliveries as well. We want to make sure our deliveries are within a certain time frame. Right?
We're responsible. We have over 500 overhead vehicles that run 14 miles plus a track. So the technicians on a daily basis are pulling in 20 to 30 vehicles a shift to do monthly PMs, and then we're pulling in 4 a day for annual PMs just because of the sheer volume of vehicles we have.
Is there much that goes wrong on the line when it's working? Is it reliable?
The line goes pretty good, but I would say at least once a day a vehicle will stop and need a manual